Hello. Hi, everyone. Yeah, we went to go see Drag Storytime at, yes, and it was awesome. It was amazing. Awesome. Hmm. That's the wrong one. Yeah, that one happened already. Been there, done that. It's coming the long weekend of February. Yep. Right. And then there's the Pride event. So we know that that's been posted. I'm not sure if you have it ready, but I think we know there is, yeah, there's a few events coming up. Um, I didn't have a chance to look at our agenda. What's next on the agenda? Yes. Oh, Nico. Nico's a flat
Hey,
earther,
hey,
everyone.
hey, hey, hey!
He thinks the earth is flat.
Why are you arresting him? Get off! No, no! What the fuck, Nico, man? Pass me the car key! Nico!
For what? This is the proudest moment of my life! What? Relax, man. Calm down. Relax. Calm down, sir. Yep! Deuteronomy 22:5. No man shall wear that which pertaineth to a woman, and no woman shall wear a man's garment, for all that do so are an abomination.
He's pretty aggressive. Yeah. Really? Oh, yeah. No, I've known this for a while. Um, he's deep into the conspiracy theories, and he thinks that it's written in the Bible that the Earth is flat. So he's hopeless. And it, yeah, this is a show for them now. This is their new grift. It's to look like they're getting something done and they're fighting the good fight and they're getting arrested. And then they go and they grift. It's the new thing. They're both. Not really. No credit from me. Just because you're a diehard dumbass doesn't, you don't deserve any credit. You're just fucking dumb. That's all. Joe, you need to speak into the mic. People can't hear you. Oh, yeah, I can't see you either. And I wasn't able to hear the video when you played it, but I had seen it already.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now we see your logo or some sort of logo.
Can you see me now, kids?
Nope, just the logo. Oh, now I see you. Yeah, it's just a delay. My bad. Yay.
All right.
Okay.
We can see me. We can hear me. We're all good. Back to normal. Excellent. Sorry about that. Well, I didn't think you guys really need to see all this. I thought you guys might have seen a bit of it today.
So Crystal,
Yes.
did you get a video of her?
I do have some content. I didn't have any prepared here.
That's okay.
I'm
Who
gonna
cares?
rush through. I do have it in the raw footage. I might try to see if I can splice it up a little bit later, where I try to have a conversation with her. It always seems like a one-way conversation with her in regards to Crystal, but I think you've already experienced that too, where she will speak out for as much as possible. She will talk. There's no reason. She's very much focused on, this is my stance. This is where I am. And there's I kind of wish I had the chance to get that clip ready, where we were having a conversation with myself and another individual talking to Crystal, and she would start saying, and she would sort of skip steps, and it's like, well, the kids are shown the drag shown, and then they're getting their genitals sliced. I'm like, how did we get from the story time to genital slicing? I'm like,
Yeah.
you missed a lot there, and it was really hard to get there. So I'm like,
Okay, what's the next video?
next video. Well, it wasn't the only arrest. There was a 94, but the only ones I got prepared for was about 2 of them.
Nice. I'll tell you guys how it was inside after. While all this was going on outside. I want
Ladies and gentlemen, I got
Very
you.
much audience. Sorry, there wasn't very much audio except
to be
for.
here.
Right. So that was Josh's yoinking. I got confirmed because unfortunately I seem to get confused between Nick and Josh.
They're taking turns.
Quite
Taking
possibly.
turns getting arrested. Gonna screw up their lives just for this.
It is, but it's a combination of Josh, I mean, is right now writing. At least my feeling, the whole thing. He's writing the fact that he's kind of minor, so all his infractions are kind of minor. But every time he's getting an infraction, he's getting rewarded. He got the first infraction. He got rewarded by Daisy and including into his club. Second infraction in regards to him going back to the school. What does he get? He starts getting interviews with Jordan Peterson, or sorry, not Jordan Peterson, but some of the right-wing medias, like Benjamin PN from True North. You start going into it a little bit more, and the more attention he's getting like this, the more he's getting rewarded.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it doesn't matter
I saw Greg from the Plaid Army, whatever his dumbass name is, tweet at Josh to see if he could give him an interview on his YouTube channel. So that's happening.
Oh, exactly. Every single incident is just rewarding them more by another right-wing media outlet sort of taking that and just boosting it up.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's it's going to slow them down or stop them.
Well, they're raising money too. But anyway, do you have another video, or do you want me to go through what happened inside?
Yes, let's start off with what you got. I got the video for Monkey Rock also, but go ahead. Okay. Yeah.
So we had the two drag performers. Well, first we got in there, and they were standing there. They set up a little public library display, and then they were letting people borrow books. By the table, there were the two performers. Camilla had made them charms, so she was able to give them some charms. I have a couple of pictures I'll be posting after of them together. I don't know if you have them, Joe. I think I sent them to you, but it doesn't matter.
I don't think I got the pictures.
It's okay. I'll put them up later. I haven't had a chance yet. It's been busy driving back and forth, doing all this stuff today. But and then they got on to performing, and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun, very interactive. So we had Cyril was on first, and then after was China Doll, and then Monkey Rock came on. And I had a chance to see Monkey Rock before. Somebody had hired him for their daughter's birthday that Camilla was invited to a few years back, pre-COVID. And then there was the, sorry, just one sec, okay?
Sure. So, wow.
So then after that, it was, the two of them read a book together, and, it was a lot of fun. It was great. Lots of kids and parents, kids of all ages, some other people who weren't parents that came in. Sadly, when we first walked in, we saw Josh, or I think it was Josh. Josh had made his way inside. A few of them had made their way inside. So I thought, okay, great. They get to see them, and they're going to be like, there's nothing here. But then I found out later that he's lying on everybody, saying that there was he saw disgusting things. What could you have possibly seen that was disgusting? They were totally, completely dressed, flashy, just like any child entertainment would be. It's the most bizarre thing that he would want to make it something that it's not, just so he can rage farm later. It's crazy.
Absolutely. So, I mean, here's a clip from example. This is the shocking stuff that you would see at Drag Storytime Kids Show. Brace yourself. This is going to be shocking.
Stick your thumbs on the side, one hand on top of the other, swim, swim, swim. I saw a sea turtle by the waterside. Swim, 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 swim. I saw a sea turtle by the waterside. You got it. Swim, swim, right. Sea turtle swims. Now rolling. Oh, oh, by the waterside.
So yeah. So yeah, I mean, a couple things I thought was kind of funny about that. So you're absolutely right. He absolutely went outside, and I got some shots again. Didn't work on the prep so much here. Yeah, he immediately notified everybody. He's like, "Oh, this is the most shocking, heinous things." But he also used very general terms in regards to everything was just shocking and sexualized and everything else.
There was nothing shocking about any of it. Like, if
That's
that's what shocks you, dude, get out more. You're fucking like get out more. It's ridiculous.
yeah.
We have pictures posted online of what they look like. What is shocking about that?
No, it's
Honestly, it's
yeah, it's
so
fully
ridiculous.
costumed. Yeah, it's fully costumed, fully covered. I don't think anybody here that's listening in is going to disagree in any sense in regards to that.
I can't believe
Um,
people are eating that shit up too. It's ridiculous. Like,
they are. They
they're
absolutely
totally,
are.
and they're just like, you can see that they're lying when you look at their behavior. Like, when you look
But
at the footage of Chris Dacey standing beside Josh and the way that they're acting as if they're like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just all
that's my flag.
overly agitated about the whole thing, and everybody's just standing there like, what is happening in your head? Like, these guys, I mean, there has to be some mental health problems. It can't just be that they're bad people, lying,
No,
violent,
yeah.
bad people. They're fucked up. They're
I mean,
fucked up.
I mean, that's a long discussion to really source it out and try to figure that out. Um, to they will get themselves worked up, and I've got a whole bunch of ideas. Not all of them I want to share, but one little funny anecdote that was there is when we were outside. So this one you might have not known as much. We were outside. I was walking around, and as soon as I found, a couple of people came to me, he's like, one of them got inside. One of them's inside now. One of them's inside. And so I got a couple of
Yeah,
people
that's
in there coming to me saying one of them's inside. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not worried. Why? Well, it's not the kids inside with a show. The kids inside with Deana.
yeah. Oh.
How was that going
Well,
to end?
what bothered me, because let's not forget, this is not like us joining any other event, right? This is us joining an event for a particular community. So we need to follow their lead. We're not going there just sort of, you know, doing it our own way. So they had particular guidelines that they wanted everybody to follow, and they were smart guidelines. They wanted us to keep it like love and within the group. They didn't want people to communicate with journalists, independent or otherwise. It's one unified voice, which was good because we see what people do. It just happened tonight where, they take clips and then they manipulate it and then they turn it into something else. So the same people that complain that mainstream media does this, they do it even worse. We see that. They also didn't want people to engage. So the flags go up, the umbrellas go up, the squeaky toys, nobody engage with these people. Do not give them content. That's what they're looking for. And it was clear that that's what they were looking for. So I think it threw them for a loop that when I went there, I wasn't going to engage. And they tried. So starting from Camilla and I leaving the parking lot, we're by ourselves and we have Three Stitch Steve behind us. And I didn't know it was him. I just heard somebody stomping quickly behind us. So I thought, okay, we're walking too slow. It's a skinny sidewalk because of the snow. Camilla, move to the side. Let this guy pass. And that's why my phone wasn't started right from the beginning. It was, I did have more than I put up there, and I'd be happy to share the whole thing. I just didn't want to get other people in the video on camera. But he starts, she said, it's Steve. I'm like, oh yeah. And then he starts accosting us. Like, I put it on Twitter. It's the most ridiculous thing. He starts swearing, calling me groomer or I support pedos. Leave the fucking kids alone, he says to me and my daughter. Fuck Trudeau, he says to the guy standing beside him and me. Like, just totally insane, as if you're walking down the street and you have like some guy just yelling profanities out in the void. That was him. And then, of course, when I'm there, we watch the show and that was fine. And then we come out and I'm approached by Karima and her cameraman. I didn't ask for them to come towards me. I stood on the outside, which is another tip that I learned. Don't go inside, stay outside, because if they come at you, it's very clear who's coming at you. I was outside again. Crystal Peters came right up to me. Oh, look who's here. But the defenders were so good. And I have a video of that too. They enveloped us and just, protected us, because I didn't come with any signs. I didn't come with anything to be able to engage that way.
You were a parent.
Yeah,
You
exactly. So Camilla and I just stood there and waited until the storm was over. And then we were inside, and there were tussles when we were inside. There were arrests when we were inside. So I can no longer, hopefully, be all of your scapegoats, everybody who wants to make me the scapegoat, that I am the one who antagonizes and instigates, because I was inside. And when I wasn't inside, I wasn't saying anything, and people were coming to me. So it's who these people are. They're just, I'm not going to give you any content. And even when I'm not giving content, they're still making content, like Karima's stupid tweet today, showing. And what people don't see is creepy cameraman on his knees. Yeah.
No, rule. We don't give her content here ever.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, and it's very much so. And you're right, because I watch these guys. They'll try to get a rile out of me, and it never works. I'm not the one you'll be able to get a rile out of ever, for one. And I saw them going aggressively towards them. Example, Three Stitches, he went after a couple, and he got pretty aggressive in some language. In fact, it's enough for me to kind of question regards to. It's just kind of awkward there. In regards to he at some points I'm like, officer, that's like an actual threat he just made there. This guy's already got arrest warrants and charges that he's dealing with right now. Are you sure that's okay? And I get the officers kind of trying to. There are a certain amount of officers that are there at the time. Probably maybe about.
There was quite a few.
Yeah, there was quite a few. Not to say there wasn't a lot. There was a fair amount. They want to try to see the path of least resistance in regards to dealing with the situation. They want to sort of just get it done and over without having to do too much. They don't want to just come and club the whole thing, because it becomes a whole disaster. Right. So if they can find another way from having to do an arrest, because that kind of shuts down or takes away a couple of officers from the scene, something else can go wrong. I get it. But yeah, there's especially, I guess, kind of problematic in regards to people who are there to specifically to cause trouble, like Nico.
They were all there to cause trouble. Let's be real.
They weren't absolutely not disagreeing with that, but sort of different levels. Like you had a fair amount that was behind the barriers that were just content to be there to try to send the message and do stuff. Well, you'd have somebody like Nico to put a mask on somebody and just run into the counter protesters and look at your God, your Satan God, screaming at them with a bullhorn. So it's kind of a weird, tricky balance.
Oh, they were allowed to use the bullhorn. I didn't know that.
No. Well, they were shut down with the bullhorns. Everybody's bullhorns were shut down.
I did get some footage of, so we went to the little cafeteria that's in there and got a hot chocolate for Camilla and a cookie. for the show. And while I was waiting for the hot chocolate, I was able to get some footage from inside as well, mostly the chuds. So I'm protected by the big glass wall or whatever.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to going through all of that and being able to put it out. But yeah, there's it. Yeah, I don't know. I
We-
don't even know what to say about these people. They're vile. They're disgusting. They need to get a fucking life. They need to just move on. These shows have been going on for longer than they even knew. There's so many of them, so they better have some serious stamina. I know our community does, and you're just showing how fucking stupid you are. You're not moving the needle anywhere. You can't, you won't. Love wins. And we're
It's
fucking better at this than you are, and we're funnier than you are. So just, you know, your little stunts, they pass. Like that whole thing that happened last week, totally over it. Done. I'm over it.
the and you're also,
I'm not finished with it, but it doesn't affect me at all. Like I'm back at it, and you guys, the reason why people are questioning why I was so quiet today is because I respect the people that I'm protecting. I respect the people that I'm defending, and I'm gonna follow their lead. I'm not gonna just, I'm not like you guys where I'm just gonna go ahead and fucking be an asshole just to be an asshole. Okay? So all of us were asked to do it a certain way. It was a fucking success. So they were right.
they absolutely were. And and I did do I did do some conversations in regards to the organizers. I hope to reach out to them again to thank them for letting us join, and also to let them know that I'll help out. We'll help out in any way we can.
One of the
As,
things is like the streaming, they don't want to get the defenders on the streams because what's happening is these other people are trying to identify them and then dox them.
yep.
And so, we have to protect the protectors as well. Um, Joe and I, well, I'll speak for myself. You go ahead and speak for yourself.
Sure.
I didn't start streaming to make money. I don't ask for money. I don't need money. I mean, I'm not putting anybody down who is a content creator and makes money off of it. It's not my reason for doing this. I'm streaming to ensure that there's balance because we know these people are clipping their videos and they're putting them out there with their story. And I'm trying to put out streams that tell the whole story from one point of view, because angles matter. We saw that in last week when global news put a certain angle, people didn't see the full story. Okay, but if people try to claim that something happened a certain way and we have other footage to show otherwise. The tough part, though, when you're going to these drag story times and you're streaming is that it's much more difficult to be able to make sure you're not streaming defenders' faces. But if you are going to stream, the trick is to hold it at mid-level so that you're not getting any of their faces. Try not to get their boots even. And because they're trying to identify people from their footwear. I change my footwear, so go ahead and identify me by my footwear. I don't wear the same, boots all the time, but go for
Well,
it.
I think we're also, you and I are sort of, I think we've already been identified as,
Yeah,
everybody
well,
can find
yeah, for
us.
us because
Yeah.
we're not trying be we're not trying to hide our identities or whatever, because you fucking people don't scare me, okay? So I guess the point is that if you're going to come out to these things, make sure you know why you're there, who you're there for, and see if there is already, like how it's organized so that you work with the team instead of working on your own. I'm not a content creator. when I go out to these protests and stuff. We do content creating every Wednesday. That happens, but the streaming is more so people can come along with us and see what's going on. But again, when we're in situations like this, it becomes a little bit trickier. So,
Just want to address one particular comment right now.
oh, yeah.
I don't have the legs for it. Sorry.
Who doesn't have the? Oh, you should dress in drag.
There is a picture of me in a dress, and it's never surfacing because it's hidden away. There's one person that does have it. She's not allowed to reveal it.
Can I just say something about dresses?
Mm-hmm.
Camilla and I decided to go dress shopping last night because we wanted to look great today. We had a girls' day together, mom and daughter. And they don't fucking sell dresses anymore. It was so hard to find a dress. We went to Reitman's, we went to Susie. They had maybe 5 dresses, and the rest is all like pants and shirts, which is fine. It's all
No,
good.
it makes.
But if you're gonna buy a dress now, you're stuck going to places like Melanie Lynn or Laura, and like you're talking, $135
I'm not
to
a pro.
$250 a dress, and that's just not my thing. Like I don't want to spend
No.
that much on a dress.
But I mean, I'm just. I'm no dress expert, but I'm thinking in regards to.
Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me. One time does not make you an expert. Actually, there's more than one, but again, that doesn't help me at all. But anyway. No, but I'm thinking just in sort of resource wise, like a dress is a lot of material commitment for one clothing item.
Nope.
Like supposed to a shirt and skirt.
I sew. It's not.
No. But I mean, you're gonna buy one of these things. It's gonna be for the one outfit kind of thing, or whatever you're gonna do, as opposed to people might also be buying more skirts and shirts than they are buying dresses.
I wasn't looking for a fancy dress, although I did try some fancy dresses on, but then I was like, this is not really that fancy. But yeah, there weren't that many casual. I know in the summer there's going to be dresses galore, and that's like my favorite season anyways. So I was just really hoping to find something, and I hate shopping.
We need to get your Disney princess dress.
Fuck that. No. That's grooming children, by the way. Speaking of grooming children.
That's true. It's true. But
they've just started putting out proper, like Frozen was like the breakthrough. You shouldn't need a man. I don't know if you saw that movie, but Frozen was a good one. She didn't need a man. Anna was being like a twit young girl, and Elsa was just like, "What is up?" And then they moved on. That was a good Disney. I haven't seen Encanto. I always see these things really late, so I don't know if that's a strong female character in there, but
actually, from what I saw in the trailer, I've never seen the movie, but apparently there's one that's definitely physically strong.
Nice. You don't need a prince to save your life, or a king, or an alpha.
Yeah, but that's.
But if one comes along and they complement your life, then go for it.
Well, that's when you go to one of the older Disney movies, Star Wars. Yeah. Princess did not need those rascals.
Yeah.
But they kind of helped.
So you have another video for what happened outside, no?
Well, this is the one we were talking about. This is this 3-Stitch Steve, and I just want to see if this actually will show for us. So it's also going to test out the audio thing. So.
Leave the kids alone, for fuck's sake. Fucking bunch of groomers. You sympathize with pedophiles? Fucking...
He's a pleasant one.
Calls the little girl's mom a fucking cunt in front of the little girl. So he's awesome. I'm here to protect the children. No, you bigot. You're here because you're a fucking bigot. You don't give a shit about the children.
It's true.
None of them give a shit about the children.
No, they don't. They never have. It's never been in their. I mean, no, I'll say it straight up. It's never been their thing to care about the
Nope.
children.
I got kicked out of a Spaces. Um,
Did
one of
you?
the convoy spaces, yeah. Because I
Was this your first time?
getting kicked out.
Yeah.
No, I got kicked out of another one of the right wing, one of Pleb's followers, Gucci's followers, kicked me out when we were
I feel something
talking.
that
We
should be
were like
doing
all we
often.
were all families of immigrants on that one. So I really question why they would be supporting somebody like Pierre Poilievre, who is part of the same party that called for the hotline for the barbaric practices, another anti-Islam, like it's a Islamophobic law, obviously, that came about. And yeah, then I no longer was on the space. So that was funny. But with the
Well, it's
convoy
freedom of
one,
speech, you know.
BJ Dichter was on there, but I didn't speak on it. I just started making comments. And this one guy basically said something about it was the kids that kept me going. They kept saying thank you to the truckers because they just wanted to go back to school. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah, no. First of all, they were back to school at the time. But what I wrote in my comment was there were more kids that wanted to see that wanted to make sure that their friends were safe, and not be selfish like their kids' parents. So I was talking specifically. Anyway, that was the end of that. I got out. I was out. Boom. See ya.
Out on your arse. Well, and
They're
to be
full of
honest, I'm
shit.
kind of surprised you haven't been kicked out of more spaces. I mean,
They don't like they don't really want discourse. They want to stay in their echo chamber. And I wasn't speaking on that. I was just commenting. There was like 7 comments and 3
yeah,
of them were mine.
it's they want discourse, but they want discourse on their own way. So this is something that I know, like a lot of people, if anybody's watching who's been on the TikToks, I like how I like it, the TikToks, by the way. There was something that we wanted across. There was bridging the gap, where they were trying to get people to sort of meet halfway, but it was kind of a deception. It was, it was coming from the right wing. It's like, yeah, let's bridge the gap, where the actual truth is that they're just trying to get you to come to their side.
Yep.
It's not really bridging a gap. That's just doing the same douchey thing, but you're trying to approach it from a different way. And you're right, Mr. Mike. There is no halfway to the whole thing, because, and the halfway part is kind of a tricky thing. And this is something I wanted to bring up too, is, and it's already been said before, which is, I've been watching kind of the sort of the leftists and the liberals and the centrist kind of thing. And the centrist thing is I'm starting to see a bit of the suffrage in regards to what's been going on. So the right's been doing one thing that we can all agree on. The right's been going further right since Mulroney, if you want to put it at that point. And Harper, then Reform Party came in, pushed a little bit further. Harper kind of cemented it, merged the parties, off it went, and now PPC started forming after Bernier decided not to be, it wasn't right enough. And dear old Poilievre is now saying, hey, you know what? There's money, and if I go further right, they keep pulling further right. Well, there's, we still got people on the left that are following the left, which is a lot of us, but then there's the people in the center. We're like, no, I'm just a centrist. I'm just right in the middle, not into this whole crazy thing. Well, you're being changed. If you're truly a centrist, and these extremes are, particularly on the right side, is being pulled further to the right, your center is moving with it. So you're either going to become more left by just the very nature of the center being moved more into it, or if you're following the center, you're accepting more right-wing ideas. So you're permitting that. So.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like things are going to get a lot worse before they get better.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're seeing that there's a lot of people out there, even if we don't all agree on the left, about a lot of things. We do agree that people need to be able to live their lives in dignity. They need to be able to prosper like anybody else, while living their authentic lives.
Yeah.
And even the Catholic school kicked out children who were trying to use the Catholic religion to excuse their bigotry. But they were, you just saw Josh put that post, where he ended up getting another 400 subscribers for something stupid like that,
Yeah.
followers, just out of that. So they know what they're doing. And it's sad that, you know what else I noticed too is the TikToks. This is just but the TikToks, with the exception of maybe Mayor, he's been around for a while, and a couple of others, I just feel like theirs gain so much more steam with their ugliness than I'm seeing uh, content creators on the left. Maybe I just haven't been on long enough that I haven't picked them up enough. But
So
I feel like, it doesn't take long for them to get with their hatred 4,000 likes. Um, will never, it will never, never, never match the 44,000 likes that Mayor McCheese got for his
that's
compilation.
true. That's true.
But
The
yeah,
I mean, this bit of tricky part when it comes to the social media part. So first thing is kind of a baseline here, which I thought was kind of interesting. It's something I tweeted out last night, which was I went over to TikTok to go take a look because just prepping up for the night before to get to the main event.
yeah,
I went to TikTok, took a look, see what's going on for in regards to what people are sharing and discussing in regards to the drag show. Drag story time for the next day. And when I got there and I started searching, all I kept on seeing was videos, including yours, Deana, but it was just videos doing call to actions, just nonstop call to
yeah,
actions.
yeah. There's lots. I'm still getting them in my TikTok.
Oh yeah, it was to me. I just thought I will view TikTok as something for the younger kids. And I say the kids part lovingly, but it is for people younger than me. And but just the fact that I'm seeing all this and it's just nothing but call to actions. I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimistic. The kids got it. The kids have got it.
Yeah. We are so lucky to have the millennials because they are, by the time the next election, both in the United States and in Canada, they will have become of age for
Mhm.
voting. And
You're talking about the Zoomers.
no, I'm talking about millennials, no?
Millennials are already of age. They've been
Oh,
of age
okay.
for a while.
I
Yeah.
thought there was two more years that I'm talking about this. No, the millennials.
No, we got
Okay.
the Zoomers now. The Gen Zs are now the ones that are coming in. But you're
Okay.
absolutely, but say it's still very much the same point.
These
Yeah.
guys, they're not like, I mean, you look at Josh and Nick and Monty or whatever their name is. What did you call them? The Fry Guys or whatever? Daisy and
Yes.
the Fry Guys.
Chasing the Fry Guys, because
Right.
so yeah, I'll give a backstory for the people at home. So I call them Fry Guys because if for people who are Dean and I's age may remember the McDonald's Fry Guys. These are like the weirdest little creatures. This is when the entire cast of McDonald's characters was there, and they were these Fry Guys. And here's the fun novelty: they had names, but I could, for the life of me, never remember whose names and what names they were. Much as Stacy's
Fry
little
Guys.
acolytes.
Yeah.
So it's Daisy and the Fry Guys for me. So there's a couple of nicknames. So Daisy and the Terror Tots, Daisy and the Fry Guys.
Yeah.
Tweet me what? Sorry, yeah. Tweet me whatever you think is an
terror
alternative.
tots, right? Not
Terror
tater
tot.
tot. Terror tots. Yeah.
Terror Tots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tater Tots.
So
That's just grooming language.
um, I feel like so they are, it's sad to see because they are a younger generation, but at the same time, there are way more people their age that are totally like these guys. Like these are oh, they're just vile. I don't even know. So there's way
Yeah.
more, and there's going to be way more of them voting. And I'm looking forward to it because, somebody's got to save the day. And quite frankly, I'm looking for us to mobilize. I'm looking for us to get out there on the streets and do something about the corporate greed and all of that stuff. But I'm not sure if we're going to get there or not. I hope so.
It's it's a good it's a good destination. We need to sort of get a plan. I think it's that particular plan to get to that to change in regards to car like that what we're going into now is a much bigger discussion in regards
Yeah.
to corporate greed and social
Well,
change and whatnot. And
I
it's one that we should have.
I feel like it's necessary
Hmm.
because what we're hearing in the House of Commons. So thankfully, Justin Trudeau is putting a lot of money into our healthcare systems. We know we need to have this. However, the right has a different point of view. But the majority of Canadians absolutely fundamentally believe in the right to access to good health care, no matter what your economic status is,
Hmm.
across the board in all of Canada. Doesn't matter what your economic status is or what your race, religion, any of those things are. And so we need to fund our public health system. However, you're hearing, the rhetoric about overspending and yada yada. And then you have the premiers who we cannot trust, some of these premiers who we can't trust with that money. Obviously, there's going to be strings attached, but at the same time, what do you think that they follow the rules? I don't think they follow the
Yeah.
rules. So I think when people mobilize and get out there, it's not when you protest, it's not because you're trying to change the government. You're trying to
Mm.
push a message, a popular message. What do we actually want? And so the government is forced to, make a decision based on that, just like we did with Doug Ford when he tried to, freeze the salaries of the EAs in the schools. All the unions came together and changed that in a heartbeat. These things can happen if we all get together, and we should. Now, for Steve, there was something I wanted to bring up with Steve Fox. I want to bring up the fact that these guys are getting much like what we saw at Tupac with these guys, because these are the same. They were at the convoy, then they were at Tupac pretending they weren't convoy, but then finally acknowledged they were convoy. Then they were at Convoy 2.0, and now they're constantly they're coming out to these drag story times to protest. And what I've noticed is that their vitriol and their behavior has accelerated, and they are much more they're scarier now, and we need to be more careful and vigilant around them. uh, Ocean went above what she should have, and was itching for a fight and continues to send messages that she's itching for a fight. Christine followed me home close to the beginning, so we know that she's been a psycho this entire time.
Christine.
Christine, yep. Is that what I not said? I didn't say
You said
that.
Crystal. You said Crystal.
I'm sorry, Christine. But Steve was mostly quiet, all the
He
time.
was. Yeah.
And now, like, something has emboldened him, and it's like, so today I was very clear with Camilla, and you saw that at one
Yep.
point because she was walking with you, and I'm like, where are you going? You need to be at my side 100% of the time. If you're going to go somewhere with another friend of ours, you need to communicate it with me. Even the
Yep.
police were being very good at watching uh, both myself and Camilla. I'm obviously pissed off at the police right now, and pretty much gave them the cold shoulder. But if you look at the video that I posted, you can see the police officer step out. He was talking to somebody when he saw the cameraman, filming me. He stepped out and looked and watched. So I know, they're paying attention, not specifically to me, but they're good at paying
They
attention to what is
yeah.
happening around there.
They weren't paying attention to you, but not in the context of you.
Yes, I know.
They were paying attention to you in the context of being a parent with a child that was inside the show, and they were
Correct.
very. That was the number one priority for them.
Yes.
And you know what? I cannot disagree with that at all.
Yes.
Neither could the counter protesters.
At one point, I was talking with somebody, and Camilla was going ahead of me and was right at one of the police officers, and I was like trying to, move towards her or whatever. And then finally, when I got to her, which was only a few minutes, but the police officer was like, "Oh, okay," because he was like, "Why is this child alone?" Even though I was right there, but just wasn't looking at her, holding her hand or whatever. And then I had another conversation with her. You need to be beside me, the whole time. I don't trust these people anymore. There was a point at Tupac where I didn't trust them, but we had enough distance from them being across the street most of the time until they, would come across the street and engage with us. But it was a different there was a different comfort level, and that comfort level is gone. They're to me, they are like wild, scared dogs. So unpredictable. You do not know how they are going to react or how they're going to behave. And so you just need to expect anything and everything from them. That's what I see from them.
And I don't disagree with you on that at all. So
I'm fully prepared to defend myself. Like, they don't scare me per se in that certain way, but I'm not going to allow them to frame me in the way that they did the last time. That's not happening again. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
But also, as I said before, you fucking touch me, I don't know.
If you learn that. So, I mean, you're absolutely right. One of the other ones that I was actually, so before here, I actually had a quick conversation with Sheep King, and we discussed another one that was also concerning, which was Carl.
Yeah, he's escalated.
He's escalated quite a bit.
Escalated.
So it wasn't so much, like, he wasn't there today. We didn't see him there at all.
I think he works during the day.
I believe so too. Yeah. But what was concerning in regards to him is, like, there was an interest in regards to, and that's exactly it. As probably mess this up, but BBD Hull.
Yeah.
That's exactly something it's not just tonight, but it seems to be sort of a common thread. Is
I didn't even see his TikTok. Was it a live or was it a?
Yeah, he's been having some lives. There's been a couple of clips. I've got one that I sent out to and I can send it out to you. And it was probably sent over to me by a mutual friend, Sam, which I got to see again today.
Yay, me
Sam.
too.
Sam's awesome.
Hey Sam, if you're watching.
And, yeah, absolutely. We see you more often. We miss you. So, but he sent it out to me, and I told him, like, if he sees any more of these sets, absolutely send them to me if he comes across them. But it's Carl's gotten some more concerning things that I'm like, these are very concerning that may need to.
They're in a cult now. Like, this is full on. Like, we saw the beginning of the cult at Tupac. We saw that Christo-fascism craziness and the deliverance and, like, touch you and
Sam.
You're healed bullshit. And hey, Sam, love you too. But it's cemented now, and it's really fucking scary.
Yeah.
These people. Whatever. I'm glad Crystal was charged with a hate crime. I don't know if we were going to talk about that later.
It's coming up soon. Before we get to Crystal, one of the other things too is actually regards, because of all these things are kind of building up. And one of the other things and they are getting a momentum. And this is one of the things I wanted to bring up. And this is something very huge in regards to based on today. Today was the first event of this list, and unfortunately, Uncle Daisy decided to find the listing of all the Capital Pride events for the winter. I've already sent out this information around Twitch. If you're on the auto activism, by all means, go in there. We're also keeping up tracks with it. And as soon as we find information that may turn into something, we'll let you guys know. This is the calendar events of all the events of Winter Pride. There's a lot of them where there's multiple events happening at the same time on the same days. So I don't know if they're going to try to cover them all because there's only 20. They'd not be able to maintain it. And more than likely, they're probably not going to attack the adult-only events. They'll probably be targeting the ones that they feel like might be kids at because, bigotry. So I think there might be another story time in there, and unfortunately, I can't clearly see the.
Yeah, there is a story time on February 11th. There's number 2 and number 3 are both story times. Number
Same
7
place?
on February 11th.
Are they both the same place?
What do you mean? It's on his. No, sorry. Yeah, number 2. They're both at 192 Sparks. Yep, and the third one is on 192 Sparks. Yep. So on the 11th, they're all in the same place. Karaoke, 7 p.m. to 9:30. I'm down, man. Hey guys, come to that. I'll be singing. What the hey ho?
She's actually a good singer.
It'll be fun. I haven't done karaoke in so long. Oh, yay. What else? Oh, I'm trying to move up the screen, but you have that control, not me.
I can't really. So the 19th is the last date. That actually was in the
It's
message.
okay. Oh yeah, you have it all there. It's just on my screen. So on February 12th, it's the same thing. So all the drag story times happen to be at 192 Sparks.
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, the 11th and 12th, we've got drag story times between 11 and 3, and same. So these are actually longer than the other ones.
Oops.
11 to 11 to 1. There's also Drag on Sparks, which I'm not sure what those events are. Storytelling is another one, which is 2 to 4. Musical Shack, I don't know what that one is, but again, so there's a lot of events. Also, February 18th and 19th, there's Winter Pride, Rainbow Ice Mosaic.
I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's rhetorical. Remember when they said
Mm-hmm.
they don't care about drag shows for adults, just leave them for adults or whatever? Why are they trying to attend the 19 plus drag shows and start protesting those? Why are they advertising
They said that yet? Have they advertised they could be going to one?
They were going to go to the one in Kempville, and that one's 19 plus. It says all ages, but it says 19 plus. So I don't know if that was like all ages after 19 plus, or they used a template and forgot to delete the all ages, but it says specifically on that poster that it's 19 plus. So explain to me, like,
in Kempville of all places.
And it's at the Legion. Remember, we have tickets to that.
Oh no, we have. No, did we get the tickets? No, we haven't got.
I don't know if we got. I remember you talking. Like I tried calling them, and I thought you called them. But anyway, so we're going to that, right?
Yes.
To actually see the show, and
That's
it's
another
19
busy
plus.
day.
So why do they care about that if they don't care if adults see an adult drag show or not?
So that's also, by the way, going to be a very busy day because February 25th is possibly another Peterborough for us to go down to Peterborough.
Yeah.
And go see some old friends in Peterborough. Hopefully we get to see Homie Tutaro if he's able to come out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. But
yeah, we would have to leave right away after that to make it to Kempville so that we could go to that show.
Yeah. So just jump in the car to go straight to the next one. But it's back to your question is like, why are they complaining about that one? Again, it goes back to that video that you posted, and I seen it. I think I already seen it, but it was still really, really good in regards to no, it was you that posted that I saw it first from. The gentleman that went through, if you're really against sexualization of kids,
yeah.
Why is it drag shows, drag story time you're protesting and not these things? And if, and they go through, things from like Hooters to another one that's in the
who
States.
brings their 12-year-old or 8-year-old or 5-year-old to Hooters for their freaking birthday? I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, apparently Yeah.
And do you see the waitresses? Those are little girls dancing around with their little short shorts and their boobs hanging out too. Okay, let's not be fooled. These aren't adults. These are young
16-year-old
young
girls.
girls who
Well, no,
are
no, hang on.
like, what the fuck?
If it's a Hooters, they have to be 18 or 19.
Whatever. What's 18? You're telling me that 18 is
No, no,
not.
sorry. They're going to have to be the age to sell alcohol,
Yeah,
whatever that is
I
for the
know
state.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. So 18 is the age of majority to sell alcohol.
Okay.
And you have these 30, 40-year-old men with their kids to celebrate their 5-year-old's fucking birthday, watching 18-year-old girls dance like little cheerleaders. Happy birthday. It is vile. And so that this is what they do, and this is what they complain about. And then you have, like he showed, when you go to the football game and you watch the cheerleaders um, prancing and dancing and whatever. That takes strength. That's a sport. That's fantastic. But at the same time, we also know what else that is.
Yes.
And so yeah, it's unbelievable to me. We have these drag queen and drag king that showed up tonight or today, sorry, this
Yep.
afternoon, completely dressed from like head to toe. China Doll had like even a fur hat on and like a fur coat, and there was no skin showing.
No,
Uh,
I mean, I got a picture of myself
yeah,
with Cyril there, the
zero.
drag king. Um, but I can recall the outfit quite clearly. Like there
The
was
outfit was
nothing.
awesome.
Oh, the outfit was
Big
awesome.
earrings.
Yeah, the outfit
Um,
was awesome. It was colorful. It was bright, but it was very much a loud.
it
I'm
wasn't
gonna,
a Hooters outfit. It
no,
definitely wasn't a Cowboys cheerleader outfit.
it was definitely a children's show outfit. If
100%.
in the sense of it was very much covered. There might have been some padding to kind of play, kind of like they're kind of playing with the shape, but not in a way to sexualize it. More to play, way to play with kids for fun. But it was just
I didn't even pick out. I didn't pick that out. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even pick up on
I
that.
thought I saw like shoulder pads kind of thing or stuff like that.
Okay. Well,
But
then you
like
need to be
again,
more clear because it
yeah.
sounded like something else when you were talking about that.
Sorry, yeah, that's
But
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I didn't even pick up on the shoulder
Yeah.
pads, to be honest.
It was just one of those. But again, it was everything about the outfit screamed to me like kid clown kind of or kids amusement outfit. It was just very much like yeah, we're gonna do kids games now.
Yeah, how
Or
can you call that disgusting? Like
no, it looks like
honestly,
it's gonna be fun.
has this kid, like the people that called it disgusting, have you ever been to a circus before when circuses were a thing? Like
Yeah.
even Cirque du Soleil. Like Cirque du Soleil is one of the most amazing shows that I have ever seen. I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to have somebody bring me twice, two
Mhm.
different times in my lifetime, and it's all costume.
Yeah.
You have women dressing as men and men dressing as women, and they do their acrobatics and they do their thing and their storytelling. Like, do you go to those things and call it sacrilege? Like, just get a fucking life. Honestly, get a
Absolutely.
life.
Absolutely. No, it's they'll get focused on the whole thing, and it's just like I don't know why you guys are doing
Yeah,
that.
it's just child entertainment. That's what this is. Ever get a
Mhm.
clown or a magician? I did all those things for my child's birthday.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no, absolutely. But it does lead me to kind of awkwardly segment into the next thing, which was we keep this. They keep talking about this. It kind of leads into a bit of a trouble, like this dear lady did. So
oh
all
yes.
angry rhetoric, and I believe this is based on
That's
this.
Crystal Peters now has
Yes.
posted that she had her first court date, and that they've added a charge. So they've added the
Yes.
hate crime charge, which is outstanding. It is absolutely what that is, and No one deserves it more than you, Crystal. I know you're watching. No one deserves it more than you.
Oh yeah. So she's got the hate crime that's been added to it. So it's that kind of is, I'm not Crystal. I think
It's coming for you too, Nico, and it's coming for you too, Nick. You're all getting it. You guys
yeah.
keep it up. You keep it up.
So right there, public incitement of hatred. That is pretty much a hate crime. I don't know what it potentially will give. I'm hoping somebody there is a little bit familiar with the law within chat will be able to give us an idea of what they're potentially facing. But I mean, this is pretty significant and serious. So hopefully, hopefully she's got a good enough lawyer.
Yeah.
Of course, Crystal is just going to spin it. Crystal's
She
going to be
totally
Crystal.
spinned it. She says she watched it over and over again in this ridiculous post and says that she never said anything hateful. She doesn't, like, she's not gonna get it. She's so far down, and I don't know, like, so I do believe in rehabilitation. I don't know how you rehabilitate this. Okay, let me be very clear. I believe in rehabilitation. I don't believe we're anywhere close to having a model in Canada that will be able to um, see through such rehabilitation. So I have no hope that this woman in her lifetime is going to understand the harm she is doing to everybody from children to adults to in between with her disgusting, vile rhetoric that comes out of her mouth
Yep.
and lies and deciding that she is going to take one scenario that may have happened, and I don't actually believe it happened, but one scenario that may have happened, and paint that brush all across every other drag time story or drag story time. I don't drink very much, and I've almost finished a glass of wine. Excuse me. But
She
how
doesn't have my
dare
training.
yeah, I can't drink a lot. I just felt like today I needed a glass of wine to relax. And now I'm maybe a little bit too relaxed. But I feel like I was there. I got to see it for real
Yeah.
without trying to, I'm not trying to paint it as something better than it is. Like Josh is trying to paint it as something worse than it is. It is a fucking nothing burger is what it is. There's nothing to it. It was fun. We had Monkey Rock that came as well. Did you
Monkey
play
Rock
his
music.
thing?
We did.
So, like, what are you protesting right now? What on earth are you fucking protesting? You're protesting people reading books. Just a second. Excuse me. Camilla took out 2 books. These are the books that they were putting out. They're nothing burgers. Okay. I did bring them. I Am Me. Sorry, there we go. I Am Me. A Book of Authenticity.
Oh.
It's nothing. I mean, it's a good book. I'm not calling it a nothing. The guy who wrote it, Susie.
I'm sure it's a fantastic book.
The woman who wrote it, or the person who wrote it, I should say.
I think what you're saying is it's a fantastic book. It's not
like grooming
book.
book.
Yeah.
Not the shit that she was trying to read, whatever that was. Look at these. Nobody's wearing anything crazy or what. It's a fucking cartoon.
I Am Love.
I Am Love. These are the 2 books Camilla chose to take out of the library today. So they spent 3 hours of their day, maybe 4, yelling putrid, vile, disgusting shit at people and children, and became aggressive also to the police. They like to yell vile shit to the police and whatever. I don't know if that happened today. I didn't see video, but I did see it at the convoy. their 2.0. I haven't seen all
They,
their videos come out.
yeah, they got a little bit aggressive. Well,
I feel
Nico
like
did.
they did. I feel like
Nico did. Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I didn't hear that video there. You're right. So at the end of the day, they spent 4 hours or 3 hours of their day doing the angriest, nastiest shit and feeling that hatred in them over something that isn't what is actually happening. Whatever's in their head isn't actually happening in real life, but they still decided to take their energy and use it in that way. And that's a sad, sad fucking case of people. Like it's ridiculous. And they
Agreed.
need to fucking take a good look at themselves. The looks that I saw from them when they were standing there and trying to like be intimidating, and it's like, man, you're fucking ugly right now. You're fucking ugly. All of you. The whole thing of it. Your persona, your aura, standing there like ugly pieces of shit for nothing. For a bunch of kids and their parents going to a usual entertainment for kids. There was nothing inappropriate in there.
There isn't, and but for them, I think it is something that we've a lot of us have kind of said. They like to take their story and sort of amp it up, and it's something I was commenting in regards to my conversation
It's
with
a money
Crystal.
maker. Yeah.
There's a money maker, but it's for their story to work for them to be able to convince people. They will take something like drag story, and they will they'll say it leads to
Transgender, whatever.
transgender children.
Dysphoria,
You're
bullshit.
forcing the kids to
Tagline.
change their genders. And I'm even looking at and I've never dealt with transgenderism. I don't even know if I've met anybody who is. If I have, and then fantastic. That's I wouldn't be surprised. And but I'd love to have a conversation, because my understanding, and I'd love to hear them say this, because I'd love to be able to sort of turn around and say, no, this is what they're saying, is to go through the process of changing from male to female, or female to male, or either direction. It is a mountainous task. It is not something as easy as like, oh, you want to go switch? Here you go. Here's your pills. Go down and off you go. It is a nightmare of a job to convince everybody to get this done.
It doesn't even that's not even, who cares about
No.
even though. I mean, whether it's easy or not easy.
No.
It's
But to
the
me,
person's choice to want to do it, and there is a conversation that happens between the doctor and the patient first.
it is. It's for me, and so my point in regards to this one is not so much is it their choice or not. You're absolutely right. It is their choice. It's more of a slap in the face to my view. It's more of a slap in the face to the transgender people who either are in the process or have gone through the process or are trying to get through the process, where they've been going through a nightmare of a mountain of work to get things done.
Yeah.
And then these people running around going, oh, we're just trying to do this, and it's so easy for these kids to change. And while these people who are actually going through the process, like, really, how did they get to fast track? Because it's been a nightmare for us to be able to do that. And it's a conversation I'd love to have with people who are more knowledgeable, to say, if I'm wrong, by all means. But I'd like to make sure, if you're transgender, you can tell me absolutely. If it is nightmare or if it is simple, I'll take either way. And I understand there's safeguards, as Three Freelance was just mentioning there, to make sure there's all sorts of things. And I totally understand it. It is difficult for a lot of processes. For a lot of reasons, to make sure it's not just sort of a whim or something else. That like, this is something that is true. This is something whatnot. People want to make sure, the professionals want to make
What
sure
is a
that this is
whim
right for you.
after you've taken puberty blockers for 2 or 3 years? When does it stop becoming a whim?
Oh no,
Like
again, you're
you're
right.
not taking puberty blockers for 6 months and then getting a
You're
gender
absolutely
change,
right.
like,
No, no, you're
surgery.
you
Like,
know, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think my point is like there's a lot of sort of there's a lot of things and a lot of safeguards that are there to put in place, but it's just it's a weird slap in the face of, oh, this is so easy. Yeah, just the people who actually go through the
I
process.
think the
I've
point
never
is
heard them ever say that. Like
right,
it's like,
but
oh
the
yeah,
point is going to a drag show is not gonna make you feel like you wanna change sexes. That is the most absurd thing I have ever heard in my life. It's ridiculous that anybody would say that. I don't go to the Phantom of the Opera and watch that whole production and all of a sudden think that I want to be whatever character you want it to be. That doesn't change my perspective on. I don't go to Cats, watch the play Cats, and think I want to turn into a furry.
yeah.
It's just beyond me that they can link that connection. um you don't you go for entertainment because it's entertainment. It was 2 hours. The plays that I just mentioned to you are 4 hours with an intermission. I didn't go to Shenyun and think that I was going to become a martial arts dancer because I watched that happen. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no, I agree.
none of this makes
Cool if it
sense.
worked
Make
though.
it make sense, people, or shut the fuck up.
Hmm.
Okay?
Well, I
I
can explain.
take
Hey,
my kids to see clown shows. They don't want to grow up to fit 10 of their friends in a little white car and drive
yeah, but
around the city.
they watched one episode. They watched one segment on Rebel, and then they became
It's
assholes. So
ridiculous. And Rebel News. Don't even get me started with Rebel. They need to take the news out. They shouldn't be allowed to write news on in their
my
fucking.
point is, it works on them because they only see one article from Rebel, and immediately they're experts. They're the expert assholes. So,
It's ridiculous. Drag shows do not do that to people.
no, agreed.
It doesn't make sense. How many shows do you got? We go to a movie. Sure, kids are like, I want to be a superhero. They know they're never going to be a superhero. It's
Oh,
not
agreed.
a thing.
Agreed. I mean,
They
it's.
don't try to find spiders and make the spiders bite them so that they can start shooting webs out of their fucking hands.
I mean, it's. How, what's another way of me putting this?
Human
Here we
beings
go.
aren't that stupid, but maybe they are because these guys believe that that's what's going to happen to their children.
There.
And wait a minute. We need to get a shot of everybody that was there today in the or the protester side, please. Because I guarantee you, if there was 30 of them, 5 of them had children.
With them.
Guaranteed. Josh, fucking Nick,
So the Save
Monty,
Canada, yeah. So there was a 3 of the Save Canada kids, 3 of the 4.
right?
Um,
Nico has no children.
Crystal.
Crystal has children. They're older
Okay.
now,
Oh, okay, sure.
but they're older now, so they're not in trouble. Daisy, he has children, but he's decided to take on the potty trained ones and is leaving the babies behind. Right? Who else has that guy with the camera? What the hell's his name again? The guy that had the camera that was part of Tupac.
The Chad.
Chad.
That
That
no.
guy doesn't.
The Chad.
The Chad. No babies. Like honestly, go through that. Tell me
Yep.
how many of Steve Fox? No children. Linda Bushy? I don't think she has any children. Howard? No children. His wife? Obviously no children. They're full of
Maybe.
shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Stop talking about my children. I have children. And if I want to bring my children somewhere, it's none of your fucking business. Don't pretend that you care about children. And please, please don't take this as an advertisement for you to start having children. Please don't have any children.
Please don't breed.
Please don't breed.
Oh, I think that's a nice little summation.
Do we have any other videos or are we done? I think we're done on
We
time.
are done. We are done on
right.
time. I've got the one last closing thought.
Who was the guy that tried to hurt people with the flagpole? Did that happen today?
This
Who was that?
did. So,
I missed a lot, you guys.
yeah. So, this flagpole guy, I didn't want to show him because I didn't really want to bring him up. There was an incident. So there's a couple of arrests. So the two of the boys did get arrested, and plus King Nico. There's also this fourth incident here, and I even talked about it a little earlier. And you see, I think Mayor nicknamed them flagpole runner. And at the time, so it's a bit of a confusion in regards to, because I was there and I remember talking to Kyle.
Yeah.
You know Kyle.
Yeah. The neutral guy. He's
the
not on
neutral-
any side, except for
Yeah.
he is.
He is. He we could do a segment on Kyle for sure,
No
but
thanks.
yeah, there's definitely certain things many things about Kyle I will not agree or believe whatnot. Certain things though I will. He has no problems calling out the people on the right, and people on the right also don't like him too. But he'll also be quite honest in regards to
Fights
like
with people on both sides equally.
yeah, he fights with people on both sides equally, and so in this particular case, there's when somebody grabbed the flagpole. It was clothes, tinfoil hat Mountie. There.
Oh, he was there. I missed him.
He was there.
But makes sense. He doesn't have kids either, by the way. Okay, carry on.
Absolutely, but he had his big flagpole. Somebody grabbed that and tried charging towards into the counter protesters, basically straight to the arms. He even broke the pole.
Oh, somebody from his side took his flagpole to try to
But
take.
that's the thing. This is the weird part. So Kyle's saying, well, it's one of the counter protesters. And
Who's the
I
protesters, the right or the left?
the counter protesters were us.
Okay,
the
call them
protesters-
defenders. They're defenders.
Defenders,
They're not
sorry.
counter
So it wasn't the protesters, and it wasn't. So he was saying it was none of the protesters. So none of the guys on his side. And again, this I was just one of those like I believe him because, and the reason why I believe him is not just for that, but for two reasons. One, there's no reason he's more than willing to say no. This guy, because I've seen him like you're doing something stupid, and you're about to get arrested, and he's done that a couple times. So I kind of believe him on that. Second thing is whenever a protester is about to get yoinked by the police, they swarm, they're yelling, they're hollering, they're doing the whole thing. Like just watch when the boys are being arrested or Nico, whatnot. There's a whole show that goes on there. When this guy was being arrested in the middle of the protesters, not a peep from them. I'm like, well, that's not a protester. If none of them are hollering about it, it's not a protester. And none of the counter protesters were actually making much noise about it either. So I'm not sure who this guy was and how he fit into the whole thing because he just grabbed this flagpole and ran towards it. So I don't know what was going on there.
Maybe he was
So-
just trying to steal the pole and then hide in the crowd, even though he
Perhaps.
has this really big flag.
Yeah, perhaps, but it was kind of like a weird sort of subtle thing. It was just a really bizarre thing, and I was just like, it's weird. Yeah, and as Sam is attesting, he was there too. He was right beside me. He's like, we're looking at this like this is just a weird incident that just occurred. So it's bizarre, and it's Sam's words right there. No idea what it was, no idea who it was, no idea how it happened. Just suddenly this is occurring. We're like, okay, let's back up, and again, nobody
So if
was.
Bear brought it up. It means that somebody filmed this. Like this was.
Oh, I filmed it.
Oh, I gotta
I did.
watch your Twitch tomorrow. That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do. I'm
I
gonna
filmed
watch
it.
your live.
Yeah, I filmed it. I've got it on there, but it's just one of those things. There's a couple of clips, but it was one of those that we're not. A fair amount of us are not really kind of sharing because I don't know if this was just some random person who just jumped in, and it could have been somebody like with some other issues or something else going on. So I don't really want to focus on that. Focus on Nico. Focus on the Save Canada kids for sure. These guys are stupid and whatnot. Yeah, let's shame them, have fun with them. This guy is just I don't know was there. So
Rando flagpole.
it's rando flagpole, and it's sort of, and that's why just the only reason I want to talk about it, like it's rando, it's whatnot. It could have been a kid just going for kicks, in which case, all right, it's fine. But since I can't confirm that, I'm like, it could be something else. And until we know for sure, I'd rather us not to focus too much on it.
Yeah, okay. We'll know for next time. We'll have lots of things to
if we don't have too many other events we need to sort of cover in the same day at the same time with all sorts of stuff, then yeah, I might be better prepared. So I apologize.
We're
there.
still trying to figure out if there's something going on this weekend.
Yeah.
And if there is, we'll put the call out. So make sure you guys follow the activism page, but also you can follow. I'll put out whenever there's something going on now that I figured it out. I'm getting better at TikTok. I'm a little bit slow. The interpretive dance.
The TikToks or the Twitters. Actually, both of us are Twitters.
Yeah. So I'll post it on all 3 platforms that I have. So I'm on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. So whenever there is an event where we need a call out, we'll put it on there. And what's really helpful is even if people can't go, is if they can share it, because there might be somebody else who might be able to go in your circle on your platforms. So if we could just get it out there, just like we saw with Ottawa and the people that were putting that out, that would be great.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I did prep. Hopefully you can hear it. A little
I'm still
final.
smoking, everybody.
I did prep us a little final video to hopefully get us a little bit
Yay.
here. So again, remember,
Is this the collage of what happened?
it's not a collage. This is more of just a little happy thing in regards to when it comes to the to these guys and convites. A lot of them have this very strong messaging about being tough and being alpha.
Okay, I can't wait. Come on, tough guys. Show me.
Let's see how tough this guy is.
I'm so alpha that I drink bull milk for breakfast.
Nothing's playing. Oh, there it is.
Nobody tell him.
I'm so alpha that I drink bull.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.